So you want to be an actor. That's great. I love it. But where do you begin? In this video, I'm going to lay out 3 key steps that I think are going to be really helpful to help you get started on your acting career from zero, no experience, nothing, not a zip. All right, here we go. Step 1, training. There are a couple different places you can get training. Let's start at the beginning, drama school or a traditional college in a theater program. There are some pluses and minuses to both. I don't really want to get into pluses and minuses. Really, it's just what do you like? What can you afford? You can go to a more conservatory, more focused type environment for working on acting, which is great. Or you can be at a more traditional university where you'll just take an acting class or or maybe you'll major in theater or minor in theater, and you'll have a lot exposure to a lot of other things. It just depends on what you are looking for in your college experience. But the thing to be looking for in the program is this: how much can you get on stage? How many different projects can you audition for? Are there going to be a lot of opportunities for you to be on stage? It's one thing to study, but you got to get out there. And school is an opportunity to act, learn, fail, fall down in a safe place, and then be able to get back up again and try again without there being any real repercussions to it. So you want to go to a school that has room for you to be able to be on stage, rise and do amazing and fall down if that happens, and get back up and get on stage again. You want to be in an environment where that is possible. So whether it's a conservatory or a traditional school, just make sure there's room for you to be on stage, because that's the working and the training that you want to get, that you're paying for, honestly. Now, I went to a traditional school and I wasn't even a theater major. I actually was a pre-med major and ended up taking some theater classes on the side because I just fell in love with it. So it just goes to show you guys, there's no one path. You know, I have friends who've been to Juilliard who have amazing careers, and friends who've gone to traditional schools who also have amazing careers. So it really, how you start has nothing to do with how you finish. I mean, y'all know that. So that's the school part. If you're of that age, have the time and the money to go to college and study acting. Well, let's talk about those of us who are beyond that, have already gotten a degree in something, but you still want to act. Acting classes. You can do acting classes online, in person, literally anywhere in the world. So there's no excuse about not getting training. You can definitely get training anywhere in the world. So pick a class. Look for a class. Again, where's a class where we call it getting up, when you get up to perform a scene, perform a monologue. You want to be in a class where you can get up every week, guys, every week. It's a job, it's work. You want to be working at it. First, the class has to have room for you to get up every week, meaning not where there's so many people where people can't physically get up every week. You want to be in a class where there's room for you to get up every week, and then you need to make sure that you're doing the work to actually put something up every week. Whether you're picking a scene, picking a monologue, you want to be in the mind frame where you're ready to do the work. You know, acting is a highly competitive field. It's best to start working that muscle early. And also, acting is a muscle. Getting up on stage in class is like, for me, I always think of it like going to the gym. So if you're getting up every week, this is excellent. If you're getting up once a month, I mean, what would your body look like if you went to the gym once a month? Maybe not great. I mean, so if you're going to pursue a career in acting, make the sacrifices necessary to be the best that you can be. All right, so step 2. We've done training. Now, step 2 is getting on stage. So let's getting on stage like actually a job in theater. I like to start acting jobs on the stage in theater. That's my preference. I'm biased, so I'm just telling you up front, I'm biased. I think it's better for an actor to cut their teeth on stage, whether it's local theater, community theater, regional theater, equity, whatever you can get that makes sense for you as an actor, that's what you should be doing. Because when you get started, I feel it's better to really just get to know your instrument and what you can do as an actor. And there's really, I don't think, a better place than the stage to do that. You know, there's a thing that they say that the stage is the actor's medium, and on film and TV, that's the director's medium. So take that for what you want. But I believe, and I'm going to push, your first forays into acting, get on stage. Also, I think you should be serious about the craft, and that's a stage actor. So get in that and have that experience and see what that's like. See what acting is really like. Because you're literally flying without a net. There's no cut. There's no, oh, let me take that back. You have to live in that moment, or sink or swim. You gotta figure out a way to keep that ride going with the audience. So try it, do it, come on. Anyway, so that's my pitch for starting with theater. Now, once you've gotten going a little bit with theater and you feel like you're ready to take your career to the next level. Oh, let me back up. In the training process, they should have covered with you headshots. So by the time you get, out of school, or, have spent some time in your acting class, you should have your headshots together. You should know what your casting is. All of this should be happening in training, so that when you kind of are moving on into working as a professional, beginning your work as a professional, you already have the tools needed to be a professional. And that starts at the very least with having a headshot and understanding what your casting is. If you have questions about that, you can always, leave it in the comments and I'll answer you back. All right, so now we're on stage. Okay, we're getting our first jobs. We're in the theater. We're doing good. Okay, now step 3 is, let's move on. I shouldn't have said this, but I'm going to say step 3 is getting work as a professional, but let's not get it twisted. Of course, there's professional work in theater as a professional, talking Broadway, equity theater, where you are part of the union. But the first theater jobs that I was recommending are, non-union, local stuff, smaller stuff where you can make mistakes and get your feet and see what kind of actor you're going to be. I mean, unless you're brilliantly talented and ready to go, whoo, I love it. But just as a progression, there's nothing wrong with starting small. Keep in mind, guys, you're going to be acting the rest of your life. I mean, look at how long Betty White, Cicely Tyson, James Earl Jones, they're acting till their 90s. So I don't think it's bad to take your time in the beginning to build a foundation of who you are as an actor before you just start jumping into the fray and all the other crazy business stuff that I'm going to talk about later in my one of my business webinars. So, but for now, it's just about you getting into the rhythm and the world of acting. All right, so now we're going to move on to step 3, which is like being a professional. I hope I talked about showcases and being able to be seen by agents and managers, because one of the things that will help you is having an agent and manager to submit you for roles, so now you can audition. But do not let that stop you. There are many publications, Backstage, Casting Frontier, Actors Access. I don't know if Casting Networks is still a thing. I'd have to check. But those are where the job listings are there. All over the country, you can act, productions are everywhere. It's no longer centralized in LA and New York. It's literally everywhere. So check those local resources to see where you can be auditioning for things. Small roles, big roles, all types of roles are available to you on those platforms. So that's exciting. So get to auditioning. So now we're moving on to step 3, which is let's become a professional. So you were training. Ideally, you were in a place that could put you in front of some showcases, in front of agents and managers and casting directors. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. Here's one of the reasons why you should be getting used to theater and why you should be doing theater, especially as you're beginning. Because when you're doing theater, you can invite agents, managers, casting directors to see you in a play. Also, these people go to plays all the time, usually. So by putting yourself in the theater, you're putting yourself out there as an actor. You're creating you're putting yourself on your own showcase. Not to mention, you can start to use the material from your play to start building out your social media and building your actor brand online. It also shows that you're serious about the craft. I mean, all of this matters when you're just getting started and trying to build, a profile, build a brand. Theater can help you do that. And it's a lower barrier to entry to get even any kind of theater. As long as you're feeling very good about your work, it's a great opportunity to showcase yourself. Not to mention, as I think, learn more about the craft and get better as an actor. I think that when you are able to develop your talents on stage, you can get so comfortable being on stage that comfort is what you need to be able to be present and grounded in front of the camera. So now, getting professional work. So you've been meeting agents and managers through your showcases that your school set up. You've been meeting agents and managers and casting directors because you've been in plays, on stage. You've got your online profile built. You've got your headshots. Now, maybe you don't have a demo reel at this point, but you're just getting started. You've got, when I first got started, I would do monologues for agents. So you've got what do we call it? Like your repertoire. You've got a comedy monologue, a drama monologue. I mean, if anything to show what you can do if you don't have demo tape. An even better program would be somewhere where you're allowed to shoot a short film and get your stuff together. So when we were in college, we shot lots of short films, like all the time. We were in coffee shops shooting scenes. So now with everyone on their phones, there's no reason why you and your friends aren't out there making content, making shorts, doing stuff to get yourselves on camera, and then putting it up on TikTok and YouTube. There's no reason why there's not footage of you that you can't put together. And then you can always up your game and make it a professional short. Like, do something as good as you can, as great as you can, and make it something, and start to put together your own reels. And you can always, what I like, auditioning for student films. Audition for those types of projects to help build out your reel so that you have it and you're ready to go. But don't let not having a demo reel stop you from getting started, from auditioning for professional jobs. If anything, you can do that stuff simultaneously. So the thing that's important, I want to say one thing here. Once you're out there auditioning for things, starting off with the small stuff in student films and then moving into, maybe co-stars or guest stars, supporting roles in films. Look for really cool independent projects. Look for cool student films. I would try to do union stuff. We can talk about union versus non-union later, but you want to just start doing all the work that you can. The last thing I'm going to say is, now that you're a professional, which basically just means you're going to start auditioning for professional jobs, don't wait for your team. Don't wait to have a team. Start creating stuff with your tribe. Find your tribe and start creating content, creating short films, creating funny characters to do on social media if you're into that type of thing. Whatever you want to be doing, start creating it on the scale that you can create it. Now you're an actor, you've trained, you've been on stage, you've been auditioning for things, you got your pictures ready. Now you're out there just acting in the world and presenting yourself as such. So those are some key steps to get you going and get you started. I'm so excited for you. Let me know how it works out, and maybe we'll work together.